right, Shalom.
Shalom.
I want to start by saying, Call Allah, Yahawah, Bahashem, YAHAWASHI, Bahashem, Wakakadash. Double honor to the Apostle of Israel, aka the Apostle of Great Millstone, and peace and love to all the Akim, consider to preach the truth and all truth and sincerity. Our way out once again to prophesy, the downfall of America, to prophesy prophecies coming out of the Holy Scriptures, all right, the Bible. And man, are they coming out crazy, man. I mean, everything is just unraveling, everything is just coming into fruition as we speak every day. I mean, hour by hour, minute by minute, second by second, man. All right, now where could we begin? We could begin with the digital ID stuff. They're talking about, I think it was the UK. They were talking about all citizens must be basically fall in line with the digital ID. You had the whole thing in the Vietnam, Vietnam, where 86 million bank accounts were shut down because it was people that didn't want to comply with the digital ID. And come to find out, I looked at the population of Vietnam. Now, I don't know if that's 86 million different people, because people can have multiple bank accounts, but if you just look at, let's say each person, 86 million people was a person bank account, the population of Vietnam is only 100-something million. So I mean, that's over half of the country's bank accounts shut down. Now I don't know what came of it afterwards, but that just goes to show where we're at, and the digital ID is gaining traction. What is else? You had the whole thing with the Russia and NATO violating the airspace, 500 drones in Denmark. This whole meeting with the Secretary of War, was this Hegseth, calling that meeting, which I believe you said next Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
So this upcoming Tuesday, which I believe is the no, that's the day before the first.
30th.
The 30th. But the next day they talk about the government might shut down. Mm-hmm. So you have a bunch of things happening to where it just shows how Esau's kingdom, especially his main headquarters which is America, the daughter of Babylon, is crumbling. Matter of fact,
you just had Trump just gave the order to go into Portland, right? They send the troops. Sure. They said to send the military into Portland. Yeah, that just happened this morning.
Okay.
So they also said there was reports that they're drawing up basically plans and to attack inside of Venezuela, right? "Quote unquote" drug cartel that's inside of, and that's all just a ploy, right? They're using that as they're using that as the reason to attack a whole nother sovereign country, And when you attack a sovereign country, you can't attack a sovereign country and then say, "Oh, we're only attacking the drug cartels." Then no, you're attacking the country. Yeah. Just like what happened with the 48ers attacking Qatar. They literally attacked sovereign land, which made all of those Arab countries come together in that summit.
I'm about to say, 'cause that's not over. That's not. That didn't just happen and like they got that. 'Cause you hear, you had the whole thing with the Great Despise. Well, oh boy, everybody walked out of BB shit.
Oh yeah.
So like, it's an influx of things happening to where, like, I was watching the Apostle Ramla video. He basically saying like, yo, like right now there's so much stuff going on that it kind of could be overwhelming that you will forget shit, because you could come across a piece of information and it could be like you see that shit and be like, okay, that was great, but then you like forget that shit and then something else happens, and it could be something similar to like that event that just you forgot about. It could be something revolving around that, but it's like, damn, now something just came of it. So it's like what the word he used?
Compounding.
Compounding, like it just keeps happening.
All right. So now I just want to read, because just to get the official, it says President Trump said that he directed Secretary of Defense, which is now Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, to provide, quote, all necessary troops to Portland, Oregon, and to any other ICE facility that is facing threats from the Antifa movement or from any other domestic terrorist. Trump said on social media that he is authorizing, quote, full force if necessary.
Yeah, and that's part of the whole thing with the craft. And since this is the daughter of Babylon, Babylon the Great, everything as far as Esau's end is going to be very, very high, intensified in America. You know what I'm saying? Because matter of fact, when you really look at it, because the whole thing, the joint happened in Dallas. So I'm assuming that they use that, the whole thing with CK. You know what I'm saying? It's like what's happening right now is like, it's so much, but it's so great at the same time, because at the end of the day, being that it's so much happening, that means that we're really close to the end, because now it just seems like everything is just hyperdrive. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, you get that to shorten the days, real quick. Unless you have something.
I did have something, though.
We know.
God, that's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 7, verse 4. It says, You know what? Let's start at 3. It says, now is the end come upon thee, and I will send my anger upon thee, and will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense upon thee all thine abominations.
Now, when you read that, is that specifying to Israel, or is
Yes,
it just
it's to Israel right
to
now.
Israel? To
Right.
Israel.
And this, well, when Ezekiel spoke it, he's speaking to Israel. But as we say, right, a lot of the curses and a lot of the judgments that the Lord put on Israel, right, for their wickedness. Remember, the scripture says that the punishment of our iniquity is accomplished. So now a lot of those judgments are going to befall upon our adversaries, chiefly Babylon the Great.
That's right, and then that's why you have. And that's why you have basically it's in shambles. Like this kingdom is in shambles, and it's there's nothing really they could do about it. It's nothing. It's no. Remember, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. So all of this Antifa trying to bring the hammer down on Jake, but at the end of the day, that's what you're supposed to do. And remember, it's going to be a persecution to the Israelites. Remember, at the end of the day, all that Antifa, all of that ICE threats, and all of that stuff is really just to be employed to bring us into saying we're DTs, and then the whole thing with the censorship thing was just saying what's the joint? You had the whole thing with the YouTube with the ID, not the ID, your age or something, age verification.
Age verification.
And it was something else. They were talking about remember was it last week with the medias be like, yo, you say certain things.
You talking about with the Pentagon?
Yeah, like they were saying, if you say anything against the order with the government is saying you can get fined and possible jail time. That's them trying to choke the word and silence basically any kind of opposition to their agenda.
Yeah, they said that if it could be illegal to speak basically against the Trump administration, or speak negatively against the Trump administration.
And that's what happened with, I don't know what the guy's name is, but the guy that was quote unquote arrested or whatever, he was it was like a couple days ago. The guy, he was like because he was speaking out against Trump. I forget his name, but his face has been everywhere lately.
James Comey?
Is that his name?
He was the former FBI director?
Yeah, former FBI director, yeah. That guy.
Comey.
Yeah. So the whole thing happened with Jimmy Kimmel. You know what I'm saying? Even though this is what Esau's supposed to do, but it's still some sucker shit that he's doing. Remember, this is what the Lord said he's going to do. If he knows he got a short time, he misery loves company. And then it was we can't, and they have an agenda they try to bring out with the whole MOTB. The whole digital idea is all things try to control the masses, man, and then and track everything we do, because he wants to be like the Most High.
Verse 3, it says, verse 3, no, right there.
Yo, read that again. Speaking the end again. Real quick.
It says, now is the end come upon thee, and I will send my anger upon thee, and will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense upon thee all thine abominations.
Now, to add on to what you said, so speaking of the end, maybe if it was addressed to Israel, but now if Deuteronomy 30:7 is coming into play more and more, this is we can switch this to the heathens and to the Gentiles, the actual Gentiles, the other nations that are not Israelites. Because at the end of the day, the Lord said, well, I will take the curse off you and then put it on your enemies. Then they should pursue them and those that hated thee and that persecuted thee. So these other nations, maybe they didn't persecute as much as Esau, but you still had a hand with Esau. So you're going to go down with Esau as well. And the ones of our people that want to uphold this place and uphold these devils, you're going to go down along with them. But at the end of the day, you lucky, you of the seed of Jacob. That's the only thing that can help you. That's the only thing that you could look forward to. But at the end of the day, you still can catch a missile. Because the missiles, remember, they're getting ready for all out war. Remember the Lord said what? He mustered the host of the battle. Why? Who do you think put it in Hexeth's mind to call this meeting? But go ahead.
Verse 4, and mine eye shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity.
This eye shall not spare thee. Now, did I talk about the Lord that loves everybody? Why don't they mention scriptures like that? We're talking about he will not spare. He will not show mercy. Now, he didn't even show mercy and spare his own people because of his anger. But at the end of the day, the Lord still has a word and a bond that he has with the Israelites, and that's why these curses will come off of us. And they are coming off us more and more. But they're going to start going more and more on our enemies, because now is that time. This is the time to look. The Lord said what? He declared the end from the beginning. But go ahead.
It says, but I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thine abominations shall be in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh.
Now, if you switch to Esau, what is his ways? First and foremost, oppressing the Israelites, but look, what has he done while he's ruled? He destroyed the whole earth, all the things they're in. What else? What is he? He just completely put wickedness. He's let wickedness run rampant in his whole reign. Well, because he is the fucking wicked. But like he's rubbed it off on the whole world. And that's why these other nations, they're drunk with the wrath of her fornication, being America, which is where Esau used a major instrument to push his wickedness, man.
Got a quick reset.
Right?
Psalms 12, verse 8. The wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted.
Oh, let's read that again.
Psalms chapter 12, verse 8. The wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted.
And shit, I mean, yo, can we put DT in there? Because he's exalted like a motherfucker, man. And it's funny because as bad as it's been and like what he's doing, people upset him, but people's like, it's like the pride of Esau. It's like, yo, we got to rock with him because what the fuck else we going to do?
Well, it's like how you just said, right? Because Esau's in rulership, they allow wickedness to be everywhere. You know, that is why when you look at just, I was talking to my Eve the other day, you know how they just built that new Indian temple down the turnpike? I'm pretty sure you passed by it. It's in Robbinsville. It's like right on the turnpike if you look at it, but it's like a big ass, it's supposed to be like the biggest, biggest temple, Indian temple. And you got a lot of people going there because of the architecture and all that shit. And then, because they got like marble floors. It's like, it's supposed to be like grandeur and shit.
Taj Mahal, something like that.
Yeah. So if you can even Google it, you can see it. But she was like, oh, I would want to go see that. I was like, well, I ain't going to go see that shit.
Right.
So I'm like, and I was like, that's a temple to an idol. Yeah, I was like, that's a temple to an idol. And that's what Esau does. See, you have DT, you know, and this whole with the CK guy, they all talking about, you know, being Christian, bringing back the Christian values in America. Well, why are you letting heathen gods or heathens erect idol temples to their gods in your nation, in your kingdom? That's not going to be happening. Even in the land of Israel, you got the small hat. They got what? They got mosques. They got mosques. Sure. In the actual land of Jerusalem.
Yeah. That's the whole thing with the Palestine and all that. It's mosques and all that. They bombed the mosque. But it's funny you said it because I was watching the Apostle video this morning, and we talk about like you know, the beast and the America, the beast coming out of the Roman Empire. He talking about how when you with America now, when you in league with America, how they usually got to pay tributary to them, but they let you like put their they'll let you put their gods there, like the brother said, they're building a Elamite temple for Elamite God in America. But like what the fuck? You think that's gonna be in our kingdom? That's why we're in the predicament we are in the first place, doing shit that Esau doing, worshiping idols and all that other stuff. We're not supposed to be doing it. It's one living God. And if you think about it, when all hell breaks loose, what's that temple gonna do for you? What? Can you get that real quick? Bring it out.
This is a book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 8. It says, "But that which is made with hands is cursed, and as he that made it."
That is which made with hands is cursed. Also with what? With the hands
it
that
said,
made
as
it?
well it as he that made it.
As he that made it. So what? The building and the man.
It says, because he made it, and because being corruptible, it was called God.
We're corruptible vessels. So so read that last part.
It says, because he made it, and it being the idol, because being corruptible, it was called God.
Because and how is an idol? What's the most corruptible thing about an idol? It doesn't live. It's made with man's hands. So like, you building something and then you worship it.
You call it a god. You call it a power.
Like you. How do you power? You built your own power. Remember, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI is not a power or a fire that no one started. It says our God is a consuming fire. Our Lord can manifest. He manifested all of this. Whether it be he manifested man or manifested man to build it. The Lord, it's funny, the Lord put it in your mind to build something to an idol. Just so he could destroy you for building something built to an idol.
Like it says right here.
Oh,
for the ungodly and the ungodliness are both alike hateful unto the Most High. For that which is made shall be punished together with him that made it.
So There you go. Oh, matter of fact, the like remember the that Cedric Borgia statue got struck by lightning? There was something happened a couple years ago at an Indian thing, an Indian like religious ceremony. Remember that?
You just said that. It's funny.
What?
At least 31 dead and 58 injured at a hospital. 58 injured, a hospital following a stampede at gathering for a politician in the Indian state of Tamil Nadu, whoever that is.
I mean, you could equate that too. They worship these politicians and these men, worshiping men. I don't know if there's anything idle, but you said political.
Yeah.
So that means that they esteem this guy, just like Americans do, esteem these politicians, and then the Lord has something like that happen. And you said it was a stamp. How many injured?
It was 31 dead and 58 injured.
And just like that. So where was the Elamite God? Where was the elephant at? Where was that elephant y'all be having in y'all, like, you know, when you be seeing them drive? Yeah, where was the God that to save you? And that's the thing. See, at least when we get fucked up, we can say, like, all right, our Lord said he was going to do that if we moved a certain way. There's no answer for why y'all getting fucked up. But except this answer. Matter of fact, could you say
more on this?
Okay, bring it up.
Verse 11, therefore even upon the idols of the Gentiles shall there be a visitation. Therefore even upon the idols of the Gentiles there shall be a visitation.
Okay, so that's our God now threatening your God and the people that's worshiping them. So how could they go against that? Obviously they couldn't do against that in India because 31 people died. So you have to ask yourself, why did those 31 people die and your God didn't save you? Or the ones that got hurt? Because more got hurt than died. So that means y'all gonna and they're gonna just get up, they're gonna go to the hospital, whatever, then they're gonna still worship them idols because they're that stupid. What?
Because in the creature of God they are become an abomination and stumbling blocks unto the souls of men and a snare to the feet of the unwise.
And that's a major stumbling that they're still stumbling over to this day. So remember, these nations been worshiping these idols, including Israelites, worshiping these idols for centuries. We got well, hold up. You got Allah, which is since what, the 5th, 6th century. You had, you know, the Buddha, however long that's been. Like, so like, all these idols they just been worshiping, and this God, their gods have not done anything to save them from anything. And that's why they're corruptible and they're abominable, man, because they don't have no life.
And really, like how you said, the Most High gave those heathens, that's their portion, right? That's what separates an Israelite, a son of God, from heathens, is the fact that we have the living God as our power. Whereas these heathens, the Lord actually gave them over to idols. He never gave them never built a relationship with them to know him personally, you know, like on a level of as a savior. Only thing that these heathens know about the God of Jacob is that he's a terrorizer. You see, but it's when Israel started to go after, follow the ways of the heathen, that it became problematic. It stirred up the anger and the fury of the Lord because his people started to follow after false gods.
Yep. It's a calf all over again.
And that's what you have, Salaki. That's what you have Esau allowing in this place, and he perpetuates it. Not bad.
They use it for profit too, because that's the nations come over here. They got paid taxes and tributary to Esau to build these temples. You know what I'm saying? When they come and you know the major thing they worship is Esau's money. You can't forget that they worship Esau's money.
I wonder if that's free to get into, or if you gotta pay.
The temple thing?
Yeah. I can't imagine it's free.
I can't, yeah, especially with Elam cheap ass. I'm thinking that they probably don't even like. It's like a tourist kind of thing. You can like just take pictures of the shit. Like
you can go up in there, yeah. Like the way they built it, it's like a tourist attraction.
Okay, kind. So they might definitely have to charge that.
But you know what's interesting? Because I was talking about Eve yesterday. I was saying how like that's how you know that those gods aren't real, because anybody can just go up in there, right? That's a temple to a god, right? Whereas with Israel, nobody can just go up. Heathens couldn't go in our temple. You couldn't just, and in certain parts of the temple, even Israelites couldn't. Certain Israelites, you had to be a Levite. And then only the Holy of Holies, only the high priest can go into that part. So that goes to show you that the God, that the temple that Solomon made, which ultimately that wasn't going to be the actual temple where the Lord dwelt, right? Because the scripture tells you that the Most High doesn't dwell in temples made with hands, but just the simple fact that it was built toward His name, it was holy. And you couldn't just have anybody go up in it. That's why when the Greeks or even the Babylonians, when they ran up in Jerusalem and they desecrated the temple, right, during the time of the Greeks, where you had the Maccabees, where they basically had to fight off the Edomites and then rededicate the temple back to the Lord, which is where you get the high holy day of the dedication, all right, or what is known as Hanukkah. See, because we didn't just allow any, because you would be, if you were defiled, if you was common or unclean, you couldn't go up in the temple, because it was built unto the name of the Lord. But ultimately, the temple of the Lord, being the people of the Most High, right, as it says in Revelation, the Most High dwells with a tabernacle of men. That's going to be us physically, and that's only going to be, the Lord's only going to dwell in the Israelites. That you can't get a heathen to be in a temple of an Israelite.
That seed was given that spirit of knowledge and power from YAHAWASHI. And here's another thing. Here's the cut. All the cut. I remember me and Shamyar were talking about this a few months ago. He's like, yo, the main thing about what separates, aside from all the history, the scriptures and all that, now let's go to actual YAHAWASHI. No other religion or doctrine or whatever entity has ever risen any of their followers up from the dead. Not one. There's only been one, actually, and that is YAHAWASHI, that was risen from the dead by the Father. Because, you know, we were talking about the, what's my man's name? That was brought to YAHAWASHI. I think YAHAWASHI brought him.
Lazarus?
Lazarus.
Lazarus.
Lazarus or Lazarus?
Lazarus.
Lazarus. He died. But YAHAWASHI was brought back to life by the Father. No other God, because there are no other gods, but for argument's sake, if you go to Elam, you go to Moab, you go to Ishmael, you go to Ham, none of their gods ever, no one ever was risen from the dead. And that right there alone going to show that why our God is faithful and true and that he lives. Because he brought a dead person back to life. And this is the ultimate power of God. It's what? To save or to resurrect. There's no other resurrection and no other religion. You know what I'm saying? So like that's how we know that our God is the one true living power. And on top of that, the things happening in real time. The things written in these prophecies are now happening right now. That were written thousands of years ago. Case in point, the war stuff and where the war is happening. The Valley of Jehoshaphat. Babylon the Great. What else fits Babylon the Great except for America? In all the time in history, not ancient Babylon, because it said Babylon will be destroyed and never inhabited again. Ancient Babylon, which is now Iraq, is clearly inhabited. And that's Ishmael, right?
Oh, yeah.
So come on. And the prophecies are continuing to come to pass every day. But you still read something?
So like, was that Ishmael? No, that might be Elam. I'm not sure. Iraq? Yeah, I gotta.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel
I know
like one of them.
I know Afghanis. They're Elam. So I don't know if Iraq is Elam also.
Shit, it might be. Right by.
Yeah, but that has something.
Heathens,
It has something you just said. Isaiah 43 verse 9 in the NLT. It says, "Gather the nations together, assemble the peoples of the world. Which of their idols has ever foretold such things?"
There you go. Which of their idols have ever foretold such things?
Which can predict what will happen tomorrow?
Which can predict what will happen tomorrow? Now, didn't Yahawashi say what's happening now? Back then? And we talking about what, 2,000 years ago, right? When John was on the island of Patmos, the whole MOTB? Explain that. Explain how John wrote that. If it's not from a higher power. And ironically, you got Esau got some shit where you can put it in your hand and make payments. Come on, man. Come on, like that. Yo, that's why, like, when the MOTB is talked about more, and obviously when we first came into it was talked about, but now that it's actually coming to fruition, that automatically should make you believe. But at the end of the day, the Lord said what? Some were just blinded. They were just given to be blinded. They're not going to see until they see a missile. Go ahead.
It says, which can predict what will happen tomorrow? Where are the witnesses of such predictions? Who can verify that they spoke the truth?
And you know what's a good example of that too? These other nations, none of these other nations are giving their God any credit for what's happening. You don't hear Moab saying Buddha had this prophesied that was going to happen. You damn sure don't hear Ishmael saying it, because clearly the Palestinians have no answers.
Even Amalek, the ones that claim to be the people of the book, why are they not prophesying about any of these events that are taking place? They called the curse Iran.
They said that Amalek is trying to self-fulfill prophecy. Like they're trying to do stuff to. Cause remember the whole thing with BB years ago saying that was he watching together? Do these things to like make the Messiah come quicker.
You know what BB said at his at the UN shit?
I know somebody asked him, are they the ancient Israelites?
Oh, they did it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
No, when he was giving a speech, he was like, and I want to look at the camera and direct my message directly toward Hamas. This is to Hamas. Let my people go.
Oh shit, nah, I didn't see that. Oh no, man.
Oh like, yo,
So
you're
cheesy.
done. You're done.
Word, yo. Now let me see if I can find. You can take reading. Let me see if I can find
Verse 10 in Isaiah 43, it says, "But you are my witnesses, O Israel, saith the Lord. You are my servant. You have been chosen to know me, believe in me, and understand that I alone am power. There is no other power. There never has been, and there never will be."
Their case closed. That's the Lord just flexed crazy, and real talk, like it's not he just speaking the truth. Well, through the spirit that Isaiah is speaking, and no, not ever was or will be, because the Lord said, "Well, I looked and there was no God with me." He looked and said, "I created all this alone." I think that's the Esdras. We said, "I looked and I said I created all this alone." Go ahead.
Yes, I am Yahawah. There is no other savior. First, I predicted your rescue. Then I saved you and proclaimed it to the world. No foreign God has ever done this. You are witnesses that I am the only God, saith Yahawah.
So he said no foreign God. So no foreign God meaning none of these other nations' gods, not even one of them. Because our God is not a liar. And he said no other God has foretold these things. And his proof is in the pudding. And the proof is in the pudding.
There's no other God there's no other nations that said that their God has saved them. Because the other nations has been in war, they've been in captivity.
Yeah, they don't do
right? Where in history did is there any records of a nation saying, oh yeah, and this was the time where our God, now they may attribute certain things to their gods that they do, right? They may say, oh, Murdoch, right, gave us the strength to do X, Y, and Z. But we actually, when the Lord delivered us, it was clearly shown that we didn't have power to deliver ourselves out of ancient Egypt. It was literally divine intervention. It was a outside source, right, an existential power that came and delivered us out of the hands of another nation. And this is why the Lord said, hey, he did it back then, but one more time he's going to flex. And this time when he flexes on Babylon the Great, right? When he flexes his strength and his might, his right arm, which is YAHAWASHI, okay? When he flexes that on this soil, the whole world is going to know forever that that Yahawah, Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI is the only true living God.
Right. I'm sorry, it wasn't that thing from the other day. It was something that they filmed already. So this is it says Amalekite Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu bashed far-right commentator Tucker Carlson during a recent
conversation. Oh yeah, I seen that.
You seen that?
Where they asked, go ahead.
Yeah,
well, he was talking to. Oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, he was talking recent conversation with MAGA influencer Dinesh D'Souza. I don't know if that's a dude or a chick. So, it says D'Souza released a clip from the film on an Amalekite-Palestinian conflict set to be released in early October on Wednesday. So I guess it's this past Wednesday. It says in the preview clip, D'Souza asked Netanyahu in a recent exchange between Tucker Carlson and Senator Ted Cruz. Tucker Carlson said, "Are you saying that the Jays in Israel under Netanyahu are the descendants of the ancient Israelites who are described in the Bible?" It says, this BB speaking, it says, "Of course, there's no question about it. The Jays spread from this land to various parts of Europe, to the Middle East, and elsewhere, but we never forget this land." So how'd you get to that land? And then why'd you leave? So when you talk about Europe, the Lord said that you were going to deliver from scattered across the earth, but and one major part is what? Babylon.
And yesterday, well, it was yesterday, 2 days ago, whenever he gave his speech, he equated the Europeans, Americans, and the 48ers as all being the same people.
So how that makes sense?
So how can you be in the land of Europe and those be your enemies, but at the same time they're still you got the same people?
The story clearly too many holes in that story. And it says elsewhere. It says my great grandfather came here in the 19th century. Most of the Palestinians who are alive today came after him. Netanyahu replied, adding, but the Palestinians and the the Palestinians and the Amalekites are two different nations.
Mm-hmm. He tried to call them Amalek.
Yeah, they did. Oh, I know, yo. To see yo, that shit is crazy, man. So that's two nations of people, and it said that when the Lord took them out of Israel, he said he was going to deliver them back to Israel in a great fashion. Y'all didn't get there in a great fashion. And on top of that, y'all got there in a fashion when Babylon still was around. It said that the Lord was going to redeem the saints out of the earth when a great destruction came. That destruction didn't come yet. And you got assholes that talk about, oh, that's the Old Testament, but you have prophecies in the Old Testament that haven't come to pass. First, you read Isaiah. There's prophecies in Isaiah that haven't come to pass yet. There's prophecies in Daniel that haven't come to pass yet. There's prophecies in Ezekiel that are coming to pass as we speak, but have not come to pass. Scriptures in the Apocrypha, which is between the Old and New Testament. The book of Baruch, so that means to tell me in Baruch the 4th chapter, that was y'all niggas? And it said that you should be sanctified in the sight of many nations. Everybody hates you right now. What?
It says, verse 40, Isaiah 43, verse 13. From eternity to eternity, I am powered. Mm-hmm. No one can snatch anyone out of my hand. No one can undo what I have done.
That's right, and that goes to what's happening to America. The Lord had America come up, and we couldn't do nothing about it. We couldn't do nothing about these devils coming and bringing us in slavery. We can't do nothing about these devils still having the upper hand to oppress us with the rest of these nations. But just like on the flip side, these other nations now, they can't undo what's being done to them. All that damage from these storms and hurricanes and tornadoes and what they call it, natural disasters, that's all from our power. That's from YAHAWASHI. And if that's the case, if y'all gods are so almighty and powerful, why do you not give them credit for when the bad stuff happens to you? You don't ever say this is judgment from Allah, this is judgment from Buddha. You don't hear them talk about no judgment. They don't know judgment. Matter of fact, the scripture even talk about how they don't know judgment. I think we talk about Esau, but like they don't know no judgment. They don't have that. They don't have that in their mental Rolodex. Remember, these heathens are fucking base. They're basically like beasts in human form. How else would a Hamite stick his head up a cow's ass? How else? You have these devils, these parties. Ooh. You got something?
No, it says Zelensky says Israeli patriot already in Ukraine, 2 more coming. The president confirmed that one Israeli-made Patriot air defense system has been operating in Ukraine for a month. 2 additional systems are expected to arrive this fall.
Oh, Patriot! I'm thinking person, like first person. This is the aerial aircraft, right?
Yeah. So that's obviously they're gonna be using those things to do what? To attack Russia. Mm-hmm. And remember, Russia said whoever's aids Ukraine, they're going to view them as them being attacked by Russia themselves, them attacking Russia themselves.
Right. And I believe America just gave us some shit not too long ago too.
Well, I was saying that because on view, they try to make it seem, well, it tries to seem that Russia and the 48ers have some type of, alliance. But you can clearly see that the lines are being drawn. And Iran and Russia is becoming more tighter. And then here you have the 48ers helping Ukraine. So that's going to just cause Russia to look at them as like they're the ops as well.
Oh, and the 48ers helping Ukraine, that goes in more to how they both Amalek. Mm-hmm. It's a spiritual thing. And remember, this is only going to get worse. If you got Amalek talking about, you got Amalek, BB talking about, China now. Y'all can't even get rid of Hamas yet. Now you want to go against China, who got a fucking million people in their army off rip, maybe more, and they got all the AI, all of this stuff, bro. That's why I'm like, when the Lord said it should be like a time like no other has been or shall ever be, Remember, the Lord said, Yahawashi said, you should hear wars and rumors of wars. That's all we've been hearing about. And on top of that, what else is this devil doing? Getting ready for the beast system. All throughout the world already in the last couple of weeks, you've been hearing nothing about digital. You've been hearing nothing except digital ID. Digital ID this. Digital ID that.
That's what the Prime Minister of UK said, right? They mandated all people in UK is going to be mandatory in order to work.
Yeah, to work, yep.
You're going to have a digital ID.
You don't think that's going to come to the U.S.? The same way you need your social security number, same way you remember when you fill out application, you got to write your social security number and all that type of shit. The digital ID is going to be a part of that same program.
And because I was looking it up today, and they were saying that what about people that don't have smartphones? And they said that it hasn't been publicized how that would work, but they said they have alternative workarounds to that.
Yeah,
so what do you think that means?
He calls it all. Ain't gonna be nowhere around it. See, the way the devil's gonna do it, who doesn't have a smartphone for the most part? That's of a certain age. I want to say of a certain age. Even if you got elderly people that got smartphones. So it's not good. That's gonna be an easy fix to them. But at the end of the day, what is ultimately the greater picture to this? The MOTB, because he has to crash this system. He has to really that's why it's a global reset. That's why they're doing all that. On top of that, the wars are festering and all of that, the civil unrest and all that. All the prophecies just coming to pass as we speak. But the ultimate prophecy is going to be when they say what? They cause of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand on their forehead for them, and no man could buy or sell save he that had the mark. So they start with a digital ID, but then also the digital ID is going to be implanted in your body. Remember the whole thing with in Sweden? It's now they said it's 50 to 100,000 people that have microchip implementations on their in their body. And guess what? The main thing they said, what? To pay for shit, access to buildings, and to pay for things, and like stuff like your records and medical records and stuff. So come on. So it's not like this is new technology, and that was 2018. No, 2017. The same year that Elon Musk was talking about a universal basic income. And that's another thing too. All this AI shit, more jobs being lost. Who just laid off a bunch of people, yo? Who just laid off a bunch of people?
I know Dell did.
Dell, the computer, yeah, Dell. So come on, but I don't know what I was reading.
I was reading. Go back to Ezekiel 7. Ezekiel 7 verse 5. Thus saith Yahweh power and evil. And only evil, behold, is come. An end is come. The end is come. It watcheth for thee. Behold, it is come.
So that's three. He had to reiterate it 3 times. That's understanding for your ass.
You read that in NLT. It says, "This is what the sovereign Lord says: disaster after disaster is coming your way. The end has come. It has finally arrived."
Hey, is America not experiencing a bunch of disasters? Is Esau's Canaan not experiencing a bunch of disasters? Are these heathens not experiencing a bunch of disasters on top of disasters?
Hey, even for Jake too.
Jake too.
With the national the troops, the National Guard, right? The ICE shit. Like they cutting all of these programs. They said that if the government shuts down next week, that a lot of federal funding programs are going to basically stop.
And that's a lot. There are a lot of federal funded programs, man. And remember, a lot of federal programs for who? Who's under a lot of that umbrella of federal funding?
It's a lot of Jake single women.
Jake single women. Yeah, so like it ain't going. So how much you gonna talk in that day? And remember the Lord said about you careless daughters. Women at ease. Failed. Yeah, women are at ease. Women are, remember, and they were talking about like, yo, if civil unrest was to come, those single mothers, you got your own place, right? Just you and the children.
I don't need a man.
You don't need a man, right? That's what you said.
And that's why the Lord said every other word, man.
Everything you spoke.
If you think about it, Salakia, brother, if you think about it, women were literally created for a man's sake. So if you say that you don't need a man, then that means that your existence, the reason why you're on the earth is pointless. So then the Lord is going to put you in a position for you to really back that up. You said you don't need a man, so let society collapse and let's see if you still feel that way.
And guess who said you don't need a man? The white man, so-called white man, huh?
I don't know if y'all ever seen it. They did like It was a brother that had a dream, a vision that like a lot of the men was getting killed, whatever, you know, to the wars and everything like that. And then those women that had those children by those men are dead now, so they were looking for men, you know, Isaiah 4:1. And then they were saying that how men, you know, were taking some women in, you know, 7, I think 1 to 1 men, but there was a lot of men like rejecting them, like, hell nah, bitch, you got kids, and when I try to get with you, you got what fucking Pookie and Ray Ray and them niggas. Like, you know what I mean? Nah, that's a wrap. And they were just begging, they were pleading, please, I'll be the 6th, 7th, 8th wife, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, please, just take me. I ain't got nobody. I'm gonna die out here if I ain't, you know, if I don't get a husband. You know?
Hey, they should eat their own bread and wear the make their own apparel.
Sure.
At least let us be called by that name.
Right.
That's going to come to pass, man. See, these words that we're reading, we read them as words, but the Lord said that these words are life. So they're actually going to, the words are actually going to, the Lord's going to manifest it in real-time reality, where you're going to have, what you have brothers having visions, which are the same thing the Lord gave the prophets, things that will surely come to pass. So you're going to see that actually take place, where women are going to be banging on brothers' houses. Please, let's help let us in, please. I don't care what number I am. Let me just be called. Let me just be under your roof.
Right. and add on to that, with the words that are written coming to life, that's already happening. It's just now certain instances have not really come really full circle yet. Like that's gonna come, but when that happens, it's gonna be real ugly out here. Yep. It ain't gonna be like on some like chilling, like it ain't gonna be no prophesying. Yo, remember they trying to go off the streets now.
Right.
And they coming to with the legislation that they're passing, they're getting closer to that goal. But at the end of the day, what goal is really happening? The Lord is just having the word, or a famine of hearing the word. Oh. He's gonna have it to where like Esau is gonna have a way to where we can't be out here. The brothers always talking about I think YAHAWASHI, when you talk about like, now you always talk about the camps are shorter, like, you know, brothers like kind of like tolerance for this world is getting like shorter, to where like, yo, so in order to get on the side of the brothers' good graces, you have to really be a certain kind of way.
You have to be real. Yeah. Think about that. You gotta have to be real humble and meek, right. Shamefaced. And the mindset of a woman right now is nowhere near that. So how bad things are going to get for a woman to get that humble and meek? And it's going to happen. It's not like you don't have time to practice that.
There's no time to adjust. It's on the go. You're going to have to adjust rapidly.
That's why with sisters that are with men right now, sisters that are with men of the Lord now, hey, it's in your best interest to stay with that man, to be respectful unto that man.
Right.
And the sisters that believe, hey, those are the ones, because they already, in order for you to be a sister that believe in the truth now, which you got very few, you know, but you do got sisters out there, that in itself is a work, is a progress, because this world was geared towards you. It was geared towards you being loud, being, you know, disrespectful, being independent. But if you're able to humble yourself, right, and come to this truth and knowledge and have the respect that you're supposed to have towards a man, hey, the Lord can easily have you come across, or a man come across you in that day. But for these women that are out here that are the products of Esau, products of Babylon the Great, it's gonna be it's not gonna be a lot of chosen chicks out here.
It's gonna be like you're gonna go down with Esau. Like that's the nitty gritty. You gonna go down with this devil. You came up with him, and you gonna go down with him if you don't get right. That's the whole thing, because you're gonna have women in the that's not in the truth now, that, like the brother said, it's going to be a quick transition. So it's all up to the Lord, really. Remember, that's the Lord's mercy to have you change your mindset. But it's going to be like kind of ugly, like the Lord going to have ugly instances, but like at the end of the day, it's still mercy, because you're getting changed to a mentality to where like, now that it's fucked up, you got to change it to like how you not in a bad case. But a lot of women are not going to change, and they're going to be in that bad case. Remember, it's more women on the earth than men.
Hey, a lot of them have to see their relatives die.
Yeah.
There's gonna have to be some excruciating things happen for women to be like just basically at that point of hopelessness.
Did somebody get Matthew 24?
Because when you at a hopeless point, at that point you're just willing, you're just wanting, you know, some type of comfort, some type of aid.
Yeah, man. YAHAWASHI spoke of these things, man. The Lord gave the warning. The Lord gave the prelude to talk about what's going on now. You know what I'm saying? And remember, it's like all this what we're doing right now, like, you know, we're just able to yell and be ignored, and you know, everybody can go about their weekend. But at the end of the day, this way of life that we're experiencing now is going to change. Matter of fact, yesterday, and it's funny, it's a white boy that said it. He was like, we were talking about like the war and shit, and he was like, yo, every empire falls. And I was surprised that a white dude said it. He said America's no different. And I was like, yo, then that shit was like, yo, word. Like, but like that's not the people don't understand that we're actually in the process of an empire falling.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like nobody really if you act like they're just like, yo, it's just bad right now, but things will pick up.
You know what it is? It's because people they bought into the mindset that America can't fall. That's what they really believe that like, oh, well, who can make war with the beast? Who could bring this? Who could bring this down? And our Lord put Esau in that mindset. Pride puffed him up that high purposely. I shall sit as a lady forever.
That's right. That's right. Yo, look, in 1 hour, no, excuse me, 1 day. Was it 1 day or 1 hour?
He said in one moment in one day.
Yeah, one moment, 1 day, you shall experience all those things. Child loss and
widowhood,
all of that. Matter of fact, you know, it's funny, I went to the store, I went to the joint on Leland Ave in Leland Ave, George Street. I went to the spot and I was talking to the Elamite. I was like, yo, what you think about what's going on? He was like, yo, he said, yo, nobody's gonna nuke each other. But he was saying that, he said if he think somebody do something, he think it'll be North Korea. But what he said was kind of logical. He was saying that like, yo, America's a great power. How will someone attack them? But I was like, yo, remember, it's not just gonna be America against one other country. These other countries are gathering together against Babylon. Remember what the Lord said in Jeremiah, was it 50 or 51? All those that could bend the bow, spare no arrows. So it's not the fact that America is a super. Yeah, America is what it is. But at the end of the day, these other niggas got shit too. America's not just the big broad, big man on campus anymore. You got other big man on campus now, man. That's why these niggas in these other nations trying to get a multi-polar rulership. But it's gonna be YAHAWASHI's rulership, man. YAHAWASHI said he's gonna come and subdue the nations, and the elect are gonna be right alongside with him. That's gonna be the new world order coming. All right. But you got that?
Yeah, Matthew.
What he says, it should be like no other. Right here, 21.
Matthews 24 and 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time.
And that's New Testament, man. And that's what the world calls Jesus talking. So why are you talking about, yo, if Jesus is talking like that, who you call Jesus, his name is YAHAWASHI, he's saying in that day should be great tribulation. Now he's answering the question that the disciples asked him, saying, what should be the sign of thy coming? What should be the sign of the end of this world? This world. And that was back then. But we're still in what? We're in the last leg of the Roman Empire. We're still in a sector of the Roman Empire. Esau was ruling at the time of YAHAWASHI. And after. So, Esau at the end of the world, Jacob the beginning of the follower. So, what's going to be the main things that is going to show his end? The MOTB. The MOTB, the Charagma. So now we're seeing all the digital ID, we're seeing all this automated shit, we're seeing all this AI. So that's how we know that, yo, we're very close to the very end. And on top of that, what are the nations doing? Wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes. We got uproars of the people. You can't, like, all this stuff is all part of the same script. That was it. You just read something, sir?
Oh, that was in Ezekiel 7.
You got the Deuteronomy? Actually read that, because since there's death going all around. There was something that just happened. I don't know if brothers heard about it. It was they found this guy unalived. He was supposedly killed. He unalived his three daughters. It's Edomite, I forget what, but like he was supposed to. I don't know if he was locked up or they found his body somewhere.
So like it was one last part of Ezekiel 7.
Oh.
It says, the end is come. It has finally arrived. Mm-hmm. Your final doom is waiting.
It's finally arrived. Your final doom is waiting. And now that goes to you, Esau. That's not your ruling. Remember, this is your kingdom. So everything that goes to part of a kingdom ending is now applied to you. The Lord told us our downfall through the prophets. The Lord now is telling you through your downfall through the prophets of Israel, the Israelites. Those people that you call niggas and spicks. Hey, matter of fact, it's funny. I seen you at like this shit. It was a brother posted. I guess it's something Deshaun. Remember what Deshaun Jackson posted years back? It was saying that the small hats are keeping a secret that that you oppress the Israelites, the true Israelites, and that they're using that to blackmail them. So that's why like Amalek is able to do all. They basically have America on a leash because they're holding the secret of this land oppressed the actual Israelites. Because what else? What other reason is there? Like what is the strong grip that these devils over there got over these devils over here? It ain't just the Epstein files and the tapes. It's something far more sinister, as they would say. And it's the fact that, you oppress the people on this side in this land. And the bulk of those people on this side are on this land, in this land. But now what? Like you referenced earlier, it said that the iniquity of the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. And now, O daughter, the daughter of Edom, the cup shall now pass through unto thee. Remember, the Lord said your final doom. So as soon as you devils bring out this chip, you're at your final straw. Well, you read that.
This is Deuteronomy 32 and 39. See, now that I, even I, am he, there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive.
He said, I kill and I make alive. No other God has killed or made alive. Because, for example, you take another nation, if you got the Elamite dies today, no one can bring him back or her back. You take an Ishmaelite, all them Palestinians over there, them Ishmaelites, Allah ain't raised not one of them or save one of them. The whole thing was that Hong Kong where that flood happened, or what is it, tsunami, tornado, whatever. Buddha was MIA. So what's up? But yet all y'all biggest accomplishments is when these people on this side were at your whim, were at the bottom. But now the Lord said, well, I'm about to raise them back up. Now in the land of your captivity, you shall remember yourself. You shall remember the name of the Lord, YAHAWASHI. And now since we've remembered ourselves and we continue to remember ourselves, the Lord is now fucking this place up because it has no more use. The punishment is accomplished. This is it. So as time goes on, you ain't gonna do shit else to oppress the Israelites, man. Esau, Moab, Ishmael, Ammon, Ham, Japheth, all of y'all all done. And each day go passes, we're getting closer to Yahawashi, cracking that sky and coming back down to the very earth which he made. And in the meantime, he just got his spirit with the spirits of vengeance, the spirits of judgment going throughout the earth. And soon enough, you're going to see the man behind the plan, or the God behind the plan. Excuse me. As a matter of fact, could you, that was it on that?
Yeah, no. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand.
That's what I wanted to bring up when you talk about the, what was it, is it India?
Yeah.
With the Stampede shit. Where was Bangladesh or whatever the fuck y'all call him? Where was he at? Where was he at to save those 58 people that got hurt? Why they get hurt? And I'm pretty sure they didn't say that was judgment from their God. I would 100%, I would bet all the money. And speaking of which, since you in Deuteronomy, can you go to the 30th chapter? I want to say you can start from the top. Hold on, give me a second. Because the Lord ain't through. The Lord ain't excusing none of you nations, man. The Lord said his judgment going forth every day. Every day. So the Lord gonna have to start showing you a thing or two. Hold on a second. Deuteronomy 30, and you probably start at the top. Yeah, you can start at the top.
Deuteronomy 30 verse 1. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse.
Hold up, oh my bad. The blessing and the curse. So that means that it was going to be a time the Lord knew that these curses were going to fall upon us. Because at this time, the Lord gave the law to the Israelites through Moses. So that means that, like the Lord said, he declared it from the beginning. He knew from jump that we was going to go off. But go ahead.
And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whither the Lord thy God hath driven thee.
That's right, and that's what's happening right now. Because we're scattered amongst these other nations, and now we're coming to remembrance that, well, we're the Israelites. All these things befell upon us because of what? Our disobedience. The blessing. Remember, we wasn't even blessed at that time because we just came out of Egypt. But the Lord's already talking kind of like past tense. All right, go ahead.
And shall return unto the Lord thy God, and shall
Go ahead, my bad.
and shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day.
And that started right now with rehearsing the righteous acts. But the Lord has his spirit on the earth already and has the Israelites known that they're the Israelites. So as that continues, these other nations are going to continue to go down until they're at the bottom. Esau's going to be at the very bottom. Because even when you...
No, that's a dude.
Oh, man, see? See, man, see, and that's the thing with the...
Hard to tell just looking at it.
And that's the thing, because your brother see that shit with the...
It's a dude.
Yo, Babylon, great confusion. And
We gotta get the fuck up out of here.
you send me the shit, and brother that shit been talked about lately. It's like a fucking guy, but you could like if he talking, he moving, it's like a bitch with the other person is seeing. You know what I'm talking about? Remember you sent me that? And like there was one they was using where it's Taylor Swift.
Yep. They got the voice and everything.
Voice and everything. It's like it's what it said. Not miracles, but what it says like they're gonna be like basically like captivated, like oh shit, the word they
That
use.
shit wonder after the beast.
Yeah, like you know, like all the shit he's doing, like the miracles and stuff. I thought it's
They should. It said that they should. Let me get it.
deceived.
Oh, deceived.
It's definitely deceived. Because yo, we really think about it, like for
Yeah, and he just. Sorry, just get it real quick.
Yeah.
Revelation 13 and 14, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast.
yo, cause yo, with the fire from heaven, like the missiles and the technology, that's all Esau technology, and like to use, cause that's a dude with makeup and shit.
It's a trend. You
Oh,
know, the
T. Oh, but the fact that motherfuckers want to do that, the fact that people have that in their minds, like, I'm like, and remember they be talking about the yo, they don't gotta tell you.
That's what he said. That's what it was on the talking point. The talking stage dilemma. When do you tell someone you are a transformer?
Well, over there, I forget what country's in, but he was asking them, like, yo, you a lady boy? One of them Moab countries, and they would say if they are or not. So it'd be in your discretion if you continue any further.
Because over here in America, there's no law against that.
No law against
they don't have to tell you.
But that's how you know Esau is a piece of shit, because you having them like you know if if it looks that crazy like a chick. The fuck? Oh, it's the app. Why it sound like that? It's the well, Trent, if you're talking to someone and like that motherfucker's not in that on that playing for that side of playing for that team, and he thinks you're a woman, so you just going out on dates with this guy, you know. But to me, I feel like it's getting so crazy where now you can't tell, because back in the day you used to be able to tell, but now Esau got all these operations and these fucking the T blockers and all that to where like yo, it's like make a dude look like a chick for real. That shit crazy. Was this one?
Yeah. Even like on these dating sites and stuff like that, but like, yeah, like you said, they don't have to say nothing, but it be to your best interest to say something, because if you don't, you can get on the live. Because there's a lot of dudes out here that don't play that. You know what I mean? You talking about, oh, well, yeah, you did whatever, and you talking about, yeah, I'm doing what? That's it right there. That's it.
And you already know we in crash out season.
Word.
We in demon time season.
Word.
So the Lord got these spirits activated, man.
Word. If that's the case, man. So if that's the case, he ain't gotta tell them. I ain't gotta tell you I got another bitch, ho. I ain't gotta tell you another girl. Why I gotta tell you I got another girl then? If you don't, it don't matter. I ain't gotta tell you. But you see how you could just easily flip the logic. And that's one thing that the dude CK was doing. He was flipping the logic back on the T in the alphabet community. Like, yo, when you born, how many genders are there? 2. Bitch talk about 12. Like,
A fucking legion. The
yo,
legion is having
what
its
you
way in
think?
the world
Like,
right
yo,
now.
like what you think? Like, yo, that's but really real talk though. Like that's really like a real crazy demon to where think that like, yo, you was more than just it's 2 genders.
You more than just one person. They say they.
All right, man.
But that right there, once again, that
That
shows
pronoun
you,
shit.
yeah, what they, that's the demons that are literally manifested in people right now. For you, a singular person. So there's no such thing as singular and, what's the fucking,
Plural?
Plural. Yeah, there's no such thing as singular and plural no more. You, a singular person can say that they're they, them.
binary something, gender binary, whatever the fuck that shit goes. But you can read that again. Continue. Oh, you done, right? That was done, right?
Deuteronomy 30:2, and shall return unto the Lord thy God, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day.
And that's what the brother, that's what that, and like how we gotta get out of here, because once we get out of here and the Lord and gives that gift to us to carry that out completely, to follow him, ain't gonna be no more of that.
Remember that spiritual clip I showed you, like the kingdom of righteousness.
Yeah.
Welcome to the kingdom.
The Lord does not care about you, my Edomites. You're gonna be ashamed.
So welcome to the kingdom.
Yeah.
Welcome to hell.
Word. Had the beard, had the crown, had the garment on. And remember, that's your AI. Cause like, and that's the thing too, like we talked about before, how the AI is getting more advanced to show, like it could be a scene that actually looks like that. You know what I'm saying? And then like you got the brothers in the cribs and the mansions like with the gold all around, like just, you know what I mean? Just and remember, this is gonna be forever. This is gonna be a forever thing. So once this place is annihilated, once this place is obliterated from off the face of the earth, we're gonna be in the kingdom on this earth, ruling, and YAHAWASHI right alongside with us, man. That's what we want. That's what we need. Continue.
Thou and thy children with all thy heart, with all thy soul, that then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee.
So when the hell were you small heads BB in this captivity that you were delivered out of, and then into what? The laws, you following the laws, because you out here talking about, y'all been here talking about kosher pig. Circumcising the babies with your mouths. Where's that? Where did the Lord say you gonna do that at? What?
And have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all thy nations, whether the Lord thy God have scattered thee.
And that's another thing. Where were you scattered? What BB said in that? He said what? Europe, such and such, and like, oh, we were scattered, but like, the Lord said the four corners of the earth. Four corners. So everywhere, where's your seed scattered?
They say they scattered there, but then the scripture says that the Lord is going to put you very low in the nations that you get scattered to. When they went over there, they became high. They took over those places.
That's right. Good point. That's right. They went there with that goal already. So it's not like they started thinking that they already was like, yo, we're going to go here next. That's the whole thing with the Greater Small Hat Project. You're trying to take over that land. But hold up. And when it said the Lord put Israel back in the land of Israel, what is the main thing that always sticks out in my head? The nation shall learn war no more. And not even that, everybody's at war with you. Make that make sense. Where is that at? What prophecy is that? Where everybody's going to despise you in the land after you were out the land and then you went back to the land. Because the Lord said, I took you out the land, then I'm going to put you back. And then you ain't going to be rooted out again. Y'all leaving Israel still. Them spies still departing. It's not safe, you know. The alarm should keep going off. Fucking devil. Yo. Go ahead, bro.
If any of thine be driven out unto the outmost parts of heaven, from thence will the Lord thy God gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. And the Lord thy God will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it. And he will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers.
That's another red flag. You ain't getting none of that. And now they coming out talking about now a lot of IDF men are being unalived.
They said a lot of them are unaliving themselves.
Yeah. And what was PTSD, and there were a lot of addicted to fentanyl. Where the look, yo, that sounds like a curse. You sound like some niggas. But you're this is in the land, not this is in the land of Israel.
That's why they're trying to get the Orthodox ones to join the military, because the ones that are there, they're saying that it's basically it's fucking them up. What they're doing, they're saying that they can't cope with all of the basically all of the injustices that they're committing, the atrocities that they're committing, being in that military.
And remember, this war's only been going on for a couple years. So think about how much that means. So we're just not short amount of time per se, but like short amount of time as far as like for you like to unalive yourself. You don't hear that in other militaries that just are unalive. That's how you know you really ain't no warriors, man.
And you're waging a wicked ass war.
Right.
See, that's why the scripture talks about YAHAWASHI and righteousness do if he judge and make war. Because when the Lord comes, he's the only one that's actually waging a war for righteousness.
Word.
All these other nations, they're not fighting for a righteous cause, man.
Nope. Straight vain cause.
Yep.
Shit, and if you really think about it, the cause is still the same cause from before. Power over the earth, which YAHAWASHI is supposed to get. That's why you got Russia and China talking about with the multipolar rulership. But no, it's going to be the rulership under YAHAWASHI. He is going to be the main judge, the King of Kings on the earth. Well, go ahead.
And the Lord thy God will circumcise thine heart and the heart of thy seed, to love the Lord thy God with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live.
Yeah, not circumcised with your mouth. Like, come on. You out here, you got the small hats, like, that's in Israel. That's in Israel. And probably the ones that live over here in their little private hospitals or in their tunnels. These are, and you got BB talking about, of course, we're the ancient Israelites. You said, of course, like, you're like, oh yeah, that must be it, because you said, of course. Everybody's already, your card has already been called out that you're not. Like years ago. And then when somebody says you're not, you what? They gotta apologize or they get fined. Look what happened to Deshaun Jackson. Look what happened to
Nick
he said
Cannon.
something?
Yeah, he said something a while back. He gave them props, basically. He was just like, yeah, get like the Hebrews, whatever, like that. And then they said, yeah, that's anti,
Anti-S?
Can't say they get money.
You can't say that. You can't say what they money because you know what it is.
Yeah. But like Deshaun Jackson, Kanye, there was someone else too. Nick Cannon, Nick Cannon.
Kyrie,
They really embarrassed Nick Cannon. It was like, yo, damn, like, what? I thought it was free speech.
What you saw, it was a clip, I think I sent it to you before, what Dwight Howard said when he had put a freedom. And he got in, like 10 minutes later, he started getting mad calls saying, take that down.
He said he got a call from the commissioner.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said they got a call from the commissioner.
He didn't understand the whole, like, he's like, I thought I was doing something right. I was just saying, like, like, I was just trying to look out. Nigga,
Yeah,
don't say nothing about them.
Yeah, but the motherfuckers that sign your because the motherfuckers that sign your check, big boy, if that's who that's them doing it.
Yep.
Right.
Think about it. That's who signed y'all checks. That's why y'all can't speak against them. You think what if Dwight Howard have been like, man, fuck that. You wouldn't hear about Dwight Howard no more. He'd be another tall ass nigga on the streets. The tall sound.
Oh, he a sodomite.
Yeah, but I say
all his dirty laundry got exposed.
Yeah. all the parties.
That's probably why that one shit got exposed.
That's probably why some shit got exposed about him. Because that was around the same time, like all stuff started coming out about him.
Yep, because he got exposed with a TG.
Yep. See, measure the time diligently.
See, that's what sorry, and that's what you people of this world, you Israelites, get for being in league with this devil, man.
The enemy.
That's what happens when you sell your soul.
Yeah.
You go in the ways of this perverseness, and then now look at you. You thinking that you're not gonna get your filthiness not gonna get exposed. This devil will easily use that shit against you.
Word. You thought and you know what, Dwight Howard, you did that shit on some trend shit just because it was trending. It sounds nice. But at the end of the day, yo, do you know what the fuck is going on? Why that's going on over there? You don't hear the brothers speaking. You don't hear the brothers talking about your free peak. Yo, man, that's messed up. What's happening? No, we're not gonna speak against it. I mean, we're not gonna speak for it, but we're not gonna speak against it either. We're gonna say what is prophecy, because that's you Ishmaelites. That's Psalms 83rd chapter. You Amalekites, you Ishmaelites in our land, Hagarites. You ain't exempt. You was the nigga that gave these devils the ships. Remember? You ain't. I believe they were the ones that was chopping off Jake Rod too.
Oh, you had the Arab slave.
Yeah.
Before Jake was slave to Edom, you had the Arab slave in Africa.
They actually say Ishmael is just as physically fucked us up just as much as Esau. Esau just did the mental thing with us.
Right. So there you go. So all them little babies, all the little man, starving. Yeah, that was by the motherfuckers that was doing the stuff. Spirits reincarnated, my man. The Lord said what? The brother just read it. The Lord woundeth and he healeth and he killeth and maketh alive. And what's the body count over there now? Was it damn near 70,000? And remember, to the Lord said, YAHAWASHI, that's light work. That's light work. We didn't even get to the big finale yet. We didn't even get to the missiles. They're talking about, yeah, get these nukes ready, get this ready. Wait till this shit really get crazy. Wait till the streets get crazy where you can't be out here just driving around. It's gonna be like a complete wasteland. The Lord said, I'm gonna make Esau desolate and bare. So before he do that, Esau gonna go out with a bang. That's why you got Trump talking about, yo, now we need to go here. Antifa this. Oh, ICE this. That's this devil's cruel wrath, because he know he have a short time. And his time is getting shorter by the day. So he's gonna get worse by the day. That's why this nigga's in there. That's why they got him set up doing this. Just like that. 8 months. He said, oh, I've done all this in 8 months. It's supposed to be what, another 4 years of this? 4 years. You think we might not see another American president? That's where it's going. We talk about nuclear war, World War III, the war to end all wars. Get it coming to fruition every day, and everybody just thinking this is a joke. You think it's a joke when Iran said, yo, we got something that can hit the USA?
And those, because you brought up missiles, those high quality missiles, they're made to not be disassembled, so they got to be used.
Huh.
So why are all these being built? Because they're going to be used eventually.
When we always talk about these shits wasn't meant to sit in the museum, and like, yo, what could have? Well, it's almost as World War III, but we foiled it. Now these are going to be used, and they're going to be used. They're going to be used for the Lord's purpose. What the Lord's purpose? The Lord said, "What His word shall stand." Then the Lord said, "Babylon should be destroyed with a day of judgment reserved for fire." With that 2 Peter, I think 2nd or 3rd Peter. Can somebody get that real quick? Because that's in the New Testament. Why don't the preachers talk about that? We talk about the Lord saying, like, yo, it's going to be fire. The day of the Lord shall be darkness, not light. It should be a day of gloominess, trouble, distress. But yeah, you got Jake out here thinking like, la, just as long as this don't come over here, as long as I'll be good. I just think my family and all my bitches and my money, and I'll be good. Yeah, go keep taking that devil's tit. Oh, it's just your money and your women, that's all you get? You mean your women you share with other niggas? Your children becoming what? Fucking digital GMO babies? AI? You seen there was an instance where I think you said to me, is a Northern Tribe chick that they kind of tackled her to the ground?
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah.
Just here's what they think of you. Was somebody got that?
2 Peter 3 and 7. But the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men.
Where's the most ungodly men at? America. And who's the most ungodly man? The man that's ruling, Esau Edom, the son of perdition. And it's a reserved. So it's a day. It's a day where it's going to come. You know, like you reserve the table, but then you're going to sit there. Well, there's a day for a fire reserved for this place, and then the fire shall come. And the Lord said He's going to wipe out this place in an hour. Hey, a speedy riddance. And neither your silver your gold shall be able to deliver you in the day of the Lord's wrath. Everybody talk about money this, money that, money that. Your money can't deliver you from shit.
Going back to the point, how Amalek is all fucked up in the head now and taking these drugs. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
That's right. Hey, who's in authority right now? Obviously the wicked, because people are freaking mourning. And those people, the Amalekites you talk about on the things, are addicted and all that. Remember, they inherited lies. So they actually think that, like, why is this probably happening to God's chosen? Rabbi didn't tell us about this. We didn't hear about this in yeshiva. But what? The prophet's been saying that y'all Amalek. The prophet's been saying that you're not the real Israelites. And then you got the audacity. That's how you know that he's just a fucking liar, because this dude asked Bibi and he said, of course we are. Of course we're the ancient Israelites. Well, I never even heard y'all say Israelites before. Well, on camera.
But that's why they're starting to reference the Bible more and more now. It's really because the truth has been coming out. because now people are seeing the wickedness that you're doing, and then on top of that, now inquisition, as the scripture says in Second Esdras, inquisition shall be made upon the counsels of the ungodly. And that started with what? The prophets coming on the scene, because growing up, we all heard about it. Oh, peace to the Middle East. Oh, those are, those are God's chosen people. Those are the people of God. All this and that. So that we all grew up just thinking that, okay, well, those are the people of the Bible. But once the truth started to expand and the Lord started to awaken the men of the prophets and the people of Israel started to awaken, now there's a conflict of interest. Because if we're saying that we're the Israelites, and we're going into the Bible and proving it, you've never actually gone into the Bible and actually proved that you're the Israelites.
Never.
You've never actually said, okay, yeah, we fit this prophecy. Matter of fact, the things that happen in your history doesn't fit prophecy.
At all.
And now that's why they're starting to now tap into try to go into the Bible and use Bible references more. They're trying to talk about the Palestinians being an Amalek. When have you ever heard them ever mention Amalek? Matter of fact, you got guys like Vocab that say Edomites are done away with. So if Edomites are done away with, which Amalek is an Edomite, then how can they be Amalek?
I'm gonna say this. What you said? You said they don't fit prophecy. Oh, y'all fit prophecy, just not the prophecy of being the Israelites. Y'all fit prophecy of y'all being the ones that took over the land and defiled it. Ezekiel 36 or 35.
36.
36, verse 5. You fit that. You fit. That's the main one, but I know there's others.
The earth being given into their hand.
Right, yeah. People mourning. But I was talking about more so Amalek, like saying that y'all not the J's. I mean, we could use a Revelation 2 and 9, but you know how, that's kind of like twofold. But Ezekiel 36 and 5, that's clear cut that you not the Israelites. Because at the end of the day, if you're the Israelites and you're also the Romans too, because if you go into your cinema, which is run by Amalek, right? Everybody white. I mean, damn, the Persians white, the Egyptians white, Syrians is white, the Israelites are white, the Babylonians are white. Everybody white. Where's everybody else at?
Yeah. The olive color. The olive color.
They put the spray tan shit, bro. Dude, then fucking what's the movies? What's it called? Like wardrobe and shit. You gotta get your tan. Right. With the spray tan.
As a movie we watched, the Gods of Egypt.
Oh man.
It was Edomite actors playing Horus. Like, yo, what?
And then you won't have the audacity. You had the audacity. Yo, this how you know you really are don't fear the Lord. You remember the Lord said what to someone that adds or takes away to the scriptures. You had someone sneak onto the ark.
Oh yeah.
And that's my man too. My man's from Departed.
Tubal Cain.
Yeah, he got on the ark. Where's that in the scriptures? You just threw that in there and thought nobody would notice, and nobody even said nothing. You ain't hear nobody outraged like, yo, I thought it was only knowing his sons there and the wives. Now, the men of the Lord probably called it out, but at the end of the day, remember, because I come to realize that people look at the Bible as something that they could believe is fake and real when they want to. But I always say, you have the Bible that has historical events. Like we always talk about how it ties in with secular history. Like the whole thing with the Romans. Paul and the disciples and all of YAHAWASHI was in the Roman Empire. That's a Roman Empire that's spoken about in history class. But the disciples never mentioned. YAHAWASHI is never mentioned.
I don't know if y'all seen the clip of the CK funeral and the guy Stephen Miller. He made that speech, and he basically said he was basically galvanizing, right, Edomites to. It was basically like a white Edomite supremacist speech, and he was saying that our lineage and our ancestors go back to the Athens. They go back to Rome. They go back to Philadelphia, and that right there shows you that where they know where their history starts. When I say their history, I mean the time where they begin to rule, because history goes way beyond Athens. But why didn't they say, oh, our history goes back? If you want to portray yourselves as the Egyptians in the scripture, in movies, you want to portray yourselves as the why didn't you say our history goes back to them? Because you know really that's not true. Your history starts at the Greeks. And what did the scripture say happened when the Greeks got into rulership? Evil multiplied upon the earth, man.
Greatly.
You have that's your track record. That's what follows you.
And check that. You said that BB said that the Europeans and all that are the same people, right? Mm-hmm. So that would cut with the fuck you just said. Because BB said that y'all go back to the Israelites. He said America, Europe, and
Americans and Europeans and what you call it are basically the same.
But you saying that y'all go back to the Greeks. Now, granted, it's kind of fucked up. You can kind of like twist it because like you got the whole thing with like the Roman Empire with Jake was ruling and all that. But like end of the day, like the brother said, when you go back in the time when y'all first started ruling, that's the Greek Empire. Period. When was Alexander, and that's a guy y'all esteem highly. Alexander. So you can't be Alexander and Maccabees.
Well, you know that's the thing. If you go into brother, can get real quick Genesis 4. When you go into history, right? When Esau ruled, he never ruled under the name Esau.
No.
Right? The Assyrians had the Assyrian Empire, even though the Babylonians, they started off as the Neo-Babylonian Empire were Assyrians, but you had the ancient Romans weren't they were Japhetic people.
Yeah.
You know, but the Egyptians, they were Egyptians. When Israel was in rulership, they were ruling as the Israelites. But when Esau got into rulership, he ruled under another name. And that goes to show why, because he couldn't really expose who he was. He had to hide who he was. He had to hide himself.
Right.
Genesis 4, we'll get to the point where it talks about where the Lord cursed Cain.
You said he actually said that, or
Genesis 4 and 5.
Yeah, you start there.
Genesis 4 and 5. But unto Cain and to his offering he had no respect, and Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell.
So like you jump down to after Cain killed Abel, and he said about the blood, his blood cried from the ground.
my brother cheaper.
Yeah.
I think that's 10.
Verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
And verse 10. And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground.
Yep. And that blood was the scripture speaks about how we have promises that are better than what the blood of Abel speaks, man, because of YAHAWASHI's blood. See, they killed the son. It was through the Roman Empire that gave the order, right? Because Israel couldn't actually put somebody to death unless the Romans allowed it. Okay, that's why even the way that YAHAWASHI was killed, that wasn't a way that the Israelites, killed people. Typically, when Israelites killed, you read in the scriptures, you would get stoned. But the whole crucifixion thing, that goes back to really a Roman capital punishment. See, go ahead.
Verse 11. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand.
Yep.
Verse 12. And when thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee their strength. A fugitive and a
So it says that when you till the ground, basically when you work in the ground, it's not going to the earth ain't going to yield its strength to you. And that's why we always mention over there in the land, they got to import trees over there. They got to ask for donations to beautify the land of Israel. That's supposed to be the most fertile land in the earth. It's called the Fertile Crescent. Why isn't the ground? Why aren't you able to produce crops over there? It should be a glorious place over there, man. Because the scripture says once Israel go back into that land, it's going to be beautified.
The book of 4 chapter, it talks about the land. It talks about how he sent them out and how the land's kind of been like messed up.
Yep, it's been basically in a mourning state. So run that back again.
Verse 12. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth.
It said a fugitive and a vagabond thou shalt be in the earth. And when you think about what a fugitive is, somebody that's on the run from what? Judgment, from a punishment. And how would a fugitive be able to, it said in the earth, so it's not like in just one city or whatever. You're a fugitive, you're going to be a fugitive in the earth. And it's not like you can escape the earth, which is what they're trying to do, right? Elon talking about going to Mars. Why are you trying to escape the earth? You're the only people, when you think about it, that is really trying to go to another planet and actually colonize it and live there. Why is that in your forefront of your mind? Because you're a fugitive on the earth and you're trying to escape judgment. See? So now, like I said, you can't just escape. You can't just, you're not just a fugitive like that is in just one area. You're a fugitive on the earth, so the only thing you can do is hide yourself. But how would you hide yourself? By changing your identity. And that's what they've done. They everywhere they go, I think there's actually in their shit where it says about the JOO, because I was reading this book by Henry Ford. It's basically that they say that when they go to these different lands and they integrate into the society, but they always keep their their culture and their customs, and then they build themselves up into that in that society. So that even by changing their names, that's why you have a lot of Amalekites that got different last names. Even when I was thinking about Jonah Hill, he changed his name. His last name isn't Hill. They started thinking some shit with Stein or something like that. But they do that to integrate and to hide who they really are, hide their identity. Nobody else does that except Esau, man. Except specifically Amalek. Yeah, nobody does that specifically except Amalek.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah.
Damn.
Jimmy Kimmel's a small head.
I'm not surprised.
How you think I chose that? Think about
All
it.
just some setup shit.
Yeah.
Yo, Zakaria, you remember that joint we was watching years ago when we talked about all the motherfuckers in Hollywood? It was like a video, just shows like Larry David was on there, Natalie Portman, all them. Yeah, it's in Hollywood, and then all the motherfuckers.
Yep. So hey. So the thing was, his deception and his ability to hide himself played a very key role in his power. But the Lord said what? 2 Thessalonians 2, then shall that wicked be revealed. By way of what? Of the spirit of the Lord's mouth. So this is why this is why now they're coming after quote unquote free speech. This is why they're trying to label this hate speech. It's because they literally see what is happening, and they see who is at the forefront of them being exposed. It's the prophets.
Oh.
That's why do you think what the Lord said, these shall all to be the beginning of sorrows, then shall they deliver you up to be arrested and to be afflicted. That's the time that we're coming in right now.
You don't think that Jonah Hill knows that the prophets are out here? You a Hollywood actor. You be in New York, LA. The prophets is everywhere in America now. Or in the internet.
Yeah, you're about to say, so on the internet, give me Isaiah 13:1, because the Lord said this is going to reach into the gates of the nobles. You think about that. The fact that it reaches to the actual gates, which represents the houses of the elites of this world. They hear about this. Well, we got this problem, but we gotta figure out what we're gonna do. How are we going to stop them from speaking? How are we gonna stop them from waking up the Israel?
And that's what, if I mentioned before, brother, that's what, because I was thinking about it before, when he's saying stop it, they got to stop it to where they don't seem like they're just targeting us.
Exactly.
And then people will ask, well, why are you targeting them if they're just talking bullshit?
Right.
Because everything is talking about, we don't know what we're talking about, and we're conspiracy theory, that, and third. So if they give us any kind of, publicity, they're going to be, and as far as the affliction too, like the, just targeting them, they're going to be like, why y'all targeting them? People will ask that. Mm-hmm. Because it'd be like, why y'all targeting them? We just thought they was some of them fucking dummies. But once Amalek was to give that kind of attention, he would be like, damn, are they speaking truth or not?
Yep.
Isaiah 13:1. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Mm-hmm. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles.
You see? Shake the hand, right? which is what? Telling you your judgment. That they may go into the gates of the nobles. And how have we gone into the gates of the nobles? Through the internet. Because we're literally in your house, right? When you watch a brother's video, you're at home, he's like in the house with you. You listen to any videos that's why they said that wickedness can even come into your house.
Spirit.
So yeah, the spirit, the voice of Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi has entered into the houses of these elites via the internet.
It's not the same reaction as when we hear it.
Nope, because that's how they know they have but a short time. Revelation 11, it said what? That after 3.5 days, the spirit of life entered into them, and brother can get that, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon all of their adversaries that saw them. This is a fearful thing that these elites are seeing, man, and that's why they got Trump as the chosen one, right? They got him doing all of this shit that he's doing, moving with this fervency, man. The fact that he's putting troops in all of these democratic cities where Jake is predominantly inhabited is for what reason? the fact that they want to come at, you know, political, they want to come at hate speech or come at anything that talks against what they're doing is because of this reason. They're setting a snare, but the Lord said what? That you're going to fall into the same snare and trap that you set. Because we already see it coming. So if you already see the snare coming, what are we going to do? We're not going to just walk right into the snare. And the Lord is going to guide our steps. The path of the righteous are guided by the YAHAWASHI. So we're not going to fall into the snare. The wicked, these false prophets, these false teachers, those that consent unto them, because you got a lot of these Israelite teachers that know the truth, but they sold out. They consented for the bag, right, for notoriety, for vainglory. You're gonna fall into the trap. The Lord gonna give you up. Your IUICs, your Sakaris, the ISPKs, all of these false pastors that preach for filthy lucre's sake. You're gonna fall into that trap that this devil is setting up, trying to entrap us, but it ain't gonna work on us, man. Because the Lord, once again, we in our mouths are found no guile. Go ahead.
So this is Revelation chapter 11, verse 11, and it reads, "And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from YAHAWASHI entered into them, and they stood upon their feet."
What was that? That's the truth, man. Okay? The Rakak Wadash. That's how we have now come alive. That's how now we are able to live. Right? The valley of dry bones. We were in this dry state, not having the knowledge, not having the understanding, thinking that we were just niggas, thinking that we were Africans, all of these things. But what the spirit of life entered into us through what? The prophesying of this word. Go ahead.
It said, "The spirit of life from YAHAWASHI entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them."
Why? Because they were just prophets, right? The two witnesses. But why did great fear fall upon why did once they woke up, right, and stood upon their feet, why did great fear fall upon all of them that saw them? Because they know that, especially starting with Esau, right? They know that once these people wake up, it's the end of their age. It's the end of their rulership. And not only is it the end of their rulership, but now the judgment is about to come upon them.
Word.
Now you're about to receive a heavy vengeance for what you've done unto the Lord's people.
That's right. Can't get around that.
Now you know that the one man, right? The one man that was on the earth that died, got rose up and left. Now you know he's about to come back.
One innocent man died under your watch.
Yep. And not only did you kill him, but then you blasphemed him. You blasphemed his father. You blasphemed the angels. You do. Oh, give me Isaiah 47:6, right? You did all of this hell to his people for who he died for, and you thought you were just gonna get away with that. You thought shall thou go altogether unpunished?
It's still going.
There's more than that.
Now, but I had a precept to back it up, and I know you have to read this. So I was going to read Isaiah chapter 52, verse 1. I'm reading NLT. It says, wake up, O Zion, clothe yourself with strength. Put on your beautiful clothes."
What is that? Oh, so like it. Finish it.
Oh, put on your beautiful clothes, O holy city of Jerusalem, for unclean and godless people will enter your gates no longer.
See, what was those beautiful clothes? Right? That's this knowledge. That's why it says in Revelation, blessed is he that keepeth his garments, lest you be found naked and everyone see your shame. This knowledge is our garment, man. This understanding is truth, and that's for a long time we were without it, so we were naked. And now, in a sense, we were naked. People, you're mocked at. That's a mocking thing. That's you see somebody naked. Oh, look at that. You laugh at that. And that's how this devil had us in that position for a long time. That's why we became a proverb and a taunt and a reproach to all of these nations. Because we were like a nation that was just naked. The whole world to see our shame. But now, the Lord said, what? I'm going to discover yours. I'm going to lift up your skirt now.
Right.
I'm going to show everybody your nakedness. I'm going to see what you really who you really are. He's going to expose you. And that's exactly what's happening. That is why BB got mass protest. Everybody walked out of the UN. You had to give a speech to damn crickets, man. Anybody that stayed there was mostly just Amalekites or or Americans, you had a whole auditorium, and it was just empty, scarce people there, man. Then he came with his little board. Yeah, did a pop quiz. Who screams death to America? Is it A, B, C, or D? Yeah, he did all that.
Fucking dweeb.
He said, everybody said, E, all of the above. Next question. Who kills in cold blood Americans and Europeans? Is it Hamas? Is it Al Qaeda? Is it Iran? Or is it E, all of the above? Everybody, people that was in there, E. Good answer. And right again. I'm like, and then the person, it was funny because the person that was, because there was like a news thing on it, and it was like, oh, he came, with his board, he came with his gimmicks. So I looked up the word gimmicks, and that word gimmicks actually goes into trickery and deceit. And that's what that was. Yeah. He had a QR code on there, and he said that if you could, anybody that's watching, if you just scan your phone and you scan the QR code, you'll have an explanation of why the 48ers are doing what they're doing in Palestine. But if if you're doing something truthful, if you're doing something right, you don't got to do all that. You don't got to explain all that, man. But then that's why no matter what you say, no matter what you do, it's only going to just continue to make you look bad, man. Because you're at a point where you now are exposed. Shameful spewing is upon your glory.
Right. Exactly.
And once again, how this is all start is because Israel woke up. So now you are in fear mode. And that is why you're trying to move with so fast, trying to get the greater Israel pride. I don't know what the fuck you think is about to happen, right? They're trying to get the red heifer to do a sacrifice to bring in the third temple. I don't know what you think, but actually I do know what you think because it's in, basically it's in your agenda, which goes all the way back to Albert Pike, right? In the Illuminati, you basically are trying to usher in the age of Lucifer, which really just means light bearer. But you're trying to usher in the age of basically getting that left-handed energy to be maintained on the earth.
That light is on you.
But you can't do that. It's not gonna work because YAHAWASHI already defeated it. He already defeated you. And that's why they're looking up in the heavens, watching for chariots, seeing all that, because they know that we're gonna have to deal with this. And you're gonna have to deal with it. But it ain't gonna win. You have something?
Oh no, I think I was finished on that.
Isaiah 47 verse 6. I'm gonna read the NLT. Mm-hmm. For I was angry with my chosen people.
Actually, you start at 1.
Nah.
Yeah. You read the NLT.
Isaiah 47:1. Come down, virgin daughter of Babylon, and sit in the dust, for your days of sitting on the throne have ended. O daughter of Babylonia, never again will you be the lovely princess, tender and delicate.
Do you see? And when you look at people, we're in the age where everybody goes on social media to complain about their lives, or talk about their lives. But now people aren't talking about, I'm living my best life. Ain't nobody, what happened to that? Ain't nobody doing that. Everybody is complaining. Everybody is lamenting. I seen one thing, it said, the girl said, this is the most me and my husband has ever made in our lives, and we are struggling. Struggling. People are losing their jobs. People can't afford, they say, whether to pay their car note or to pay their get groceries. You got certain people we was talking about when we was in the Rutgers area, we were saying that a lot of young people are basically entering into a workforce and there's no jobs available for them. So now young people are having ideations about offing themselves. And that's also growing, becoming more and more prevalent. A lot of young deletions, suicides, man. Because they're not looking at a society to where the windows of what is it says in Ecclesiastes? The doors of opportunity are closed. The doors of opportunity are closed. AI taking over all your jobs. Everybody, all these other businesses are cutting staff. So what do you do?
No, I was gonna say, and a lot of these people try to escape that by using drugs, but this place is so fucked up now. Even the drugs are corrupted.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, I have a testimony. My bad. I have a testimony. I drove 2 ladies. One was from Jamaica. She said she's been here for. I think she said she's been here for like maybe 10 years, somewhere. And I forget where the other country lady from. But they said 2 things. They said 2 things. The same thing. These ladies weren't together. I drove them at different times. They was like, yo, This is not the America that it once was. And I remember she was kind of older, so like she came here as an adult, so she like you could see like the change, and she was like, "Yo, it's not the America that once was." And the other lady was actually here for 20-some years, so she was here a little longer, and they both said the same thing. It's like damn near word for word. This is not the America that it once was. It's basically the horror is not as good as it once was.
There is no throne.
No throne, exactly.
There's no vision of success here, man. Nobody can buy a house. If you don't got a house now, you're not getting one. You're not, unless you get it passed down. You waiting for your parents to die or your grandparents to die so you can get that.
But they ain't gonna keep it.
Yeah, because you don't have it, exactly, because that's probably not even paid off. And then the property tax is going up, and then the jobs that you have is not going. You can't afford it.
People be losing their homes soon. That's the thing too.
Yep.
Own homes can lose their homes.
Yep. So hey, when that's why you also have a lot of people leaving America. That's a big thing.
A lot of Edomites at that.
A lot of Edomites. I've seen some Jake.
Yep.
Jake been trying to leave America as well.
It's like the humans period here. It's like everybody, it's not just susceptible to Esau and Jacob. Remember, all the ninja came here to get rich, but this is not no kingdom.
Yep.
No throne.
Go ahead.
Verse 2. Take heavy millstones and grind flour. Remove your veil and strip off your robe. Expose yourself to public view. You will be naked and burdened with shame. I will take vengeance against you without pity. Our Redeemer, whose name is the Lord of Heaven's armies, is the Holy One of Israel.
Yep. So this said grind mill. You gonna be brought to a lower state, man. You said I'm run that part back again?
Yeah.
Read it kind of fast.
I'm gonna start back at 2. Take heavy millstones and grind flour. Remove your veil and strip off your robe. Expose yourself to public view.
Yep. Expose yourself to public view. And that's what you have done. I said that in Lamentation. Thou shalt also drink, thou art drunken, and thou have made thyself naked. See the product of the Gen Zers is based off of all of the mindset of Babylon. It's based off of this carelessness, right? It's based off of life is just gonna be given to me on a silver platter. That we're always just gonna be good, and that's why they say these Gen Zers, they don't have any work ethic. Well, you getting mad at them, but who raised them?
Exactly.
Who raised that type of mindset, man? Who raised this entitled mindset of young adults that have grown up, man?
Generations prior.
It's because of what? You was drunk. You thought I'm gonna be good forever. No, but America's always gonna be great. And just like that, boom. Now you over here talking about make America great again. And look at the way that they're trying to do it. They're not trying to. The way that they're going about it is they're trying to go back to slavery days. They're trying to go back to, well, we know what? As Edomites, you're realizing you don't create shit. You don't build shit. You have other people do it. You force other people to do it. You use your sword and force other nations and rob and steal or force other nations to do things for you.
They're strong now.
Robin?
But the weak saying they're strong now.
Exactly. So how now you're at a conundrum to where you trying to make your kingdom great again, but it's not by your own might it got great in the first place. So the only thing you have to resort back into is knowing what you can do to bless it. I'm gonna use this sword and target these other nations, particularly Israel, to make them do it. Because you're trying to blame Israel for all of your problems, but the problems of America goes far deeper than Pookie and Ray Ray, man. It's way deeper than niggas shooting each other on O-Block.
Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Yeah. You got systemic issues. It's ingrained in your foundation.
Hey, that public view, it made me think about, I mean, I know it's not particularly to that, but it made me think about that shit that happened with, I think that was what was that all the countries been speaking? Is that the UN assembly thing?
Mm-hmm.
When the teleprompter broke.
Oh, yeah.
It was like,
and the escalator.
Yeah, when his wife was walking up there.
Both of them was walking.
Yeah, when his wife was walking up there. But the teleprompter, because it made it kind of look stupid, because it go to show that you didn't have nothing to say except for what you're told to say. And if the teleprompter was done and said that, he was trying to say, I can speak from the heart, something. He's like, yo, but whoever's in whoever I run the teleprompter is in big trouble. And supposedly, somebody did that on purpose. They
That's
said.
what they were saying.
They were saying, I don't know how true it is, but they
Yeah.
said that somebody from the UN did that on purpose, or whatever shit did that on purpose with the escalator and the teleprompter.
Because no, you're not esteemed anymore, man. Once again, there's no throne. Go ahead.
Verse 3. You will be naked and burdened with shame. I will take vengeance against you without pity.
Without pity. I think that's the one that says, I should not meet thee as a man. Is that same verse?
It's like
Yeah.
verse 7.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when the Lord comes, he's not going to pity the vengeance. Remember, Isaiah 63, it says that the day of vengeance burns in his heart, man, in his mind. The year of his redeemed is come. So that's what YAHAWASHI is in the spirit world as a high priest. And all he's hearing also is these prayers, right? Because it says that in Revelation that the angels are bringing the prayers of the saints up into the presence of the Lord. YAHAWASHI being the right hand, being the high priest. All he's hearing is us complaining. Going back to what Abel, he says that innocent blood is crying from the ground. We, Lord willing, being a part of that elect, is that innocent blood because we're covered by YAHAWASHI. So all he is hearing is the innocency, right? The righteous, innocent blood complaining about the wickedness that is being done here, looking for us to be delivered. And that's why YAHAWASHI said, shall not the Most High avenge his own elect, which cry unto him day and night, though he bear along with them, I shall tell you, he shall avenge them speedily. And that's what we're seeing happening right now. We're seeing the downfall of this devil, man, which in Ecclesiasticus, it tells you that's one of the things that makes a man joyful. Have joy of his enemies, and to see, have joy of his children, and witness the downfall of his enemy. Right. We're living in an age, as we said in the beginning, right, of an age of an empire falling, and this is the empire of our chief adversary, man. Babylon the Great is the empire, and the nation is who? Esau, Edom, that is ruling. And this is the last end. Daniel's vision of the statue. Well, it wasn't Daniel, it was Nebuchadnezzar's vision of the statue. Right? The 10 toes. This is where we at right now. Matter of fact, you can grab it at Daniel 2:44. You finish.
Verse 4. Our Redeemer, whose name is the Lord of heaven's armies, is the Holy One of Israel.
Yep.
O beautiful Babylon, sit now in darkness and silence. Never again will you be known as the Queen of Kingdoms.
You see? So you're not revamping this. You're not building Babylon back up. You are already known as a queen. You was already known as the beacon of success in life, right? The life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. You already had that point. Where everybody thought that, the streets was paved with gold here. But now, that time is gone. And you're not getting it back. That's why I said you will no longer ever be known as that. So from here on out, you're only going down. And what? Once again, why do you think the way Trump is moving that way? Because we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Oh, you know what? We gotta revamp the system. Let's bring in this digital system. That could be the way that we can, bring America back into the golden age. And they're gonna go hard for it, man. They're gonna go really hard for it. And at the same time, you want to quote unquote clean up the streets. Well, we're gonna target Jake. We speak about what? Jacob's trouble. Because they are trying. That's what Esau has always done. He wants to scapegoat. Blame. What did Nero do during the time when Rome was being on fire? He blamed the Christians. But it wasn't just the fire that was being problematic in Rome. They had an economic issue in Rome because their money system was their money was devalued. Same thing happening here. The dollar is devalued right now. And you got a debt-based society. When you're in so much debt, you can't get out of that, man. You can't clean that up.
Verse 6, for I was angry with my chosen people and punished them by letting them fall into your hands. But you, Babylon, showed them no mercy. You oppressed even the elderly. You said, I will reign forever as queen of the world. You did not reflect on your actions or think about their consequences.
Woo! You said you didn't reflect on your actions, man. You didn't show them no mercy. Upon the ancient did you heavy verily lay thy yoke. And they show movies about that, right? And now what Trump is trying to do, he's trying to get rid of the Smithsonian. You focus too much on the negative. You know, the critical race theory. They don't want to have the school systems talk about what was going down during the time of slavery. The whole white guilt.
No, well, wait a second. Hold on. So why the fuck you keep talking about what happened to the Smalls then? Why we gotta keep hearing about October 7th, that one day? Well, a couple thousand people down, ooh, whoop-de-doo. But you don't talk about what you did on this soil. Again, yo, what happened to them Amalekites, or allegedly, didn't happen over here. And America wasn't the forerunner of that, but what happened over here to the Lord's people?
And they get paid.
And they get
let's not forget about that.
Quite wholesome pay too. quite a hefty pay. We talk about what you give them $3 billion off rip.
Well, I was talking about the people they say that was in Germany to get they get reparations.
Oh, like the actual cost survivors.
Yeah.
And they should all be dead by now anyway.
And to show you that they program the people, when you just ask the average person, who's the most evil person of all time, they'll say H.
Yep. Yep.
What? So against y'all. Who actually spoke against y'all being the chosen people.
But now he was set up because he was a part of the elitist family anyway. He was an illegitimate child of the elites, man. Just like how they set up all of these, the person who they allegedly said deleted CK, they're saying that person.
It's something else, right? It's something else, right?
No, they're saying that he actually saying he didn't do it. And that whole story about him giving himself up, that was all the show. I was watching Candace Owens because now they're trying to say he on deletion watch, suicide watch, and that's how they do it. Yeah, because that's what they do in Dallas.
Yeah.
Right? That the shooter in Dallas, he deletes himself. So now they can create a whole narrative because the person's not there to tell you what really happened.
Remember what old girl in Power said when Mike killed Greg? And they put the gun saying like he was the mole. He said, "Cause dead men can't exonerate themselves. He can't defend himself."
Yep. See, but that's how he moves, man. He's cunning. This is one of the wiles of the devil, man. And the way that we're able to stand against it is by putting on the armor of the Lord. These people in this world, they get caught up in that because they don't have the armor of the Lord. They don't have the truth. They don't have the understanding. So when they see the sorcery, they get mesmerized by it. But because we got the truth coming out, a lot of people are starting now to question it. And more people are not relying on the media. They're going to the youth. They're going to the social media to get the information. And what comes up on the social media? This truth, man.
There you go.
And that's why he's going to stop it. That's why when he's about to come with that full swoop plan, he's going to take us off of it. When he come with that MOTB, once they come against taking us off of the truth, that's it. Off of the internet, that's when you know they're about to go full throttle. They're about to go full throttle. They may be a Black Swan event that ends up, shutting down the internet. Because actually, you just had Dabu came out with Cisco. They just basically said that there was an emergency meeting. I was just reading it.
Why you find it? I heard also too going to the system. I seen something. The joint I follow on Instagram. They go into like business and technology news. So basically, they were saying that with the whole AI thing, they saying that the electricity is low, and that a lot of these companies are buying already stuff because they're saying like with all the AI, there's not enough electricity for all this AI shit to really like be smooth and shit. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
Well, this is what it said. Major hacking campaign underway. Emergency directive issued amid major event targeting devices. The Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, has issued an emergency directive asking federal agencies to take immediate actions to identify and mitigate system vulnerabilities to protect their devices from a major hacking campaign, the agency said in a September 25th statement. Widespread campaign poses a significant risk to victims' networks by exploiting a zero-day vulnerabilities that persist through reboots and system upgrades. Zero-day vulnerabilities refer to unknown or unaddressed security flaws in a computer hardware. You remember, like last year, you had all of those hacks that was happening with the AT&T and the T-Mobile, and all of a sudden that just stops, right? You don't hear about cyber, attacks anymore.
Social security numbers was hacked.
Yeah,
Americans.
you don't hear about that. The water systems in 14 states was hacked, Jersey being one of them. But all of a sudden, you don't hear about cyber attacks no more. You got the gas pipeline. They said that they did in Georgia a couple years ago.
Oh, a couple years ago.
Yeah, the gas pipeline, and people in Georgia basically couldn't get gas at the gas stations. But I always go back to what Klaus Schwab said. A cyber attack is going to be the next image. And that's going to happen out of nowhere, man. You just have, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, Grand Central Station, all of its lights went out. I don't know how long it was out for, but there was video of it. People was walking around and it was in complete darkness.
Oh, yeah.
And that just happened out of nowhere. And that's how this is going to happen. You ain't going to be forewarned. You ain't going to be told, oh, yeah, you're about to get hit with a cyber attack. It's going to be a regular day. You going to wake up, and then every systems is going to shut down. And people ain't going to have no clue to what's happening. They going to think, oh, maybe just my phone don't work. Like they showed you in that movie, Leave the World Behind. It was a regular day, or maybe, it's just my phone. Oh, no, the TV, the cable's not working. Go outside. Hey, Jim, your phone work?
Power?
Nah. Or maybe it's just the block. Okay.
Trying to just reassure himself.
Yeah, maybe it's just a street block. Okay. All right, let's take a trip. Damn, looks like it's over here. Nothing's over. You don't got nothing else. You wait a day.
A lot of time
You wait a day. Oh, okay, maybe just a day. Wait another day. I'm still not getting no information. Are you getting any information from anybody? No. A week, then you want to start seeing helicopters go over. You want to start seeing what the fuck is that?
Shit's not
See some military marine fatigues in the streets. Then you gonna hear a broadcast news alert. You are due to extra emergency. This is not a drill, right? Everybody, we are now on a lockdown, right? Curfews.
That's how you bring it. That's how you bring it in. That's how you.
And they already got the National Guards on the streets anyway. Why do you think they got them set up right now in the streets? Remember, Trump has been hooting and hollering about how Washington, D.C. is completely safe. So why don't you take the National Guard troops off of the streets now? Because they're there to stay, man. You got them in Memphis. He about to go to Chicago. He just gave the directive to go to Portland, Oregon. So he's got them placed in these places, and they're going to stay there because once the shit hits the fan, they're going to already be in operation. They're already going to be set up.
Major cities. Yep.
And then that's why Isaiah 33 is going to come into place. Because they know there's going to be a lot of and they're going to let certain cities get uproar. They're going to let certain cities get wild. And that's where the brother said with the dream, who you think is going to be targeted? The most vulnerable. That's what they always say. The elderly, women, and children.
So I reading or?
Now you said yes, right?
Yeah, because I want just this is from I know you heard of Sovereignty AI. I think it might be like a magazine or news platform, but they be having like stuff with like AI news and shit, right? Mm-hmm. So I guess they had a meeting. So this is from what day was this? I know I've seen this a couple days, but anyway, it says White House tech meeting wasn't about AI. It says Apple, NVIDIA, and Meta came for one reason: to secure electricity before it runs out. Now, the reason I brought this up because even when we talk about cyber attacks, but what about them just trying to get this new shit up and running? Remember, the Lord could throw a monkey wrenches too, and not just the glitches with them. It's that the Lord doing stuff too, because this kingdom's not going to be one to last forever. So it says the real agenda. It says a $500 billion electricity crisis that could shut down AI development. Here's what they're not telling you. It says every major tech CEO at the summit shared the same fear. We don't have enough power for AI, not enough to run trillion parameter models, not enough power hyperscale data centers, not enough to meet CHIP demand, which doubles every 9 months. It says the media spun it as historic pledges for AI innovation, but behind closed doors, the conversation was blunt. Who gets the electricity? Because the grid can't power everyone. It says the most shocking deal so far is that Microsoft just locked up all of 3 Mile Island's nuclear output. 837 megawatts, 20-year contract. The plant won't even restart until 2028. Remember, they got a 2030 agenda. And it says Oracle's cloud revenue is projected to hit $114 billion by 2030. TSMC's August 2025 jumped 34%. YOY, I don't know what that means. It says these. Okay, it says these aren't normal growth numbers. They're signs of panic buying capacity before the lights go out. No pun intended. It says every 9 months an AI CHIP generation arrives. It says NVIDIA's Blackwell, AMD's latest GPUs, Amazon's custom CHIPs. Each requires exponentially more power per rack. And it's been going into like, it says the U.S. grid wasn't built for this. It says planners are projecting 2% growth. Reality could be 4 to 5% up. It says if true, the grid breaks, period. The cracks are already visible. It says Northern Virginia grid congestion, Texas brownouts tied to data center demand, transformer lead time 2 to 3 years, permitting backlogs measured in years, and your electricity bills are about to skyrocket. Big tech isn't waiting, they're moving fast, buying land next to nuclear plants, signing 20-year deals before the plants exist, converting Bitcoin mines into AI-grade power hubs. This is how desperate the scramble has become. The geopolitics have shifted too. Middle East trade deals, 80% are now tied to securing cheap electricity for AI buildouts. The new oil isn't oil, it's electrons. So it's basically going to like all this output and all this AI shit. So basically saying that, it can't power all of us. Mm-hmm. So who's going to get the electricity? That's what they're talking about behind closed doors. To bring in all the shit they talk about, AI about to take over. But behind closed doors, it's like, who's going to get the electricity?
And that's why they also going to try to depop a lot of people too.
That too.
And who do you think they're starting with? They're starting with Jake.
The undesirables.
The depop is going to be you Israelites. You just had this here. Pam Bundy just came out. Breaking news. Pam Bundy. Bondi. Sorry.
Oh,
Peg Bundy.
Peg Bundy. Yeah, I'm bugging.
Pam Bondi says she is deploying federal agents to ICE facilities countrywide. Under President Trump's leadership, there is zero tolerance for political violence and domestic tea. And that's they just came out of nowhere and just made this. Where the executive order about domestic tea, the Antifa and all that. But as we said in the beginning, that was that's a snare, and they're going to group all of this is going to be grouped into that, man.
Yep.
And that's why the Lord said the signs, and then he said, then you're going to be delivered up. But this is why we're also going to have that standard set, because all what we're speaking is truth, right? Our tongue, there is no guile. So we're going to need a defense. We're going to need the Lord to set up a standard for us. And only for those that endure it, only those that truly believe on it, that's what the Lord's going to set up that standard for, man. Because YAHAWASHI, he was numbered with the transgressors. He was crucified next to some thieves, as if he was a criminal himself. So how much more for the Lord said that the servant isn't greater than his master? We're going to be looked at as common domestic teas, man. We're going to be looked at as enemy of the states. We're going to be looked at as all of these things. All we're doing is just reading the scriptures. We got people walking by, we ain't bothering heckling nobody, man. We look like fools just talking to ourselves, but once again, we know that this word is going out to the elect. And it's as it says, Paul said that this is a weapons of a warfare, not carnal, but mighty through the pulling down of strongholds. It says, I am deploying federal agents to ICE facilities around the country. If you so much as touch one of our federal officers, you will go to prison.
There you go.
See? That wrath, that cruel Lord is getting more and more cruel, man. And he's moving every single day, it seems like now, that there's something happening. There's some new thing that is like breaking news.
I was at work one day and we were talking about the whole ICE and
You gotta speak up.
We were talking about the whole ICE situation, that if they were to come to our job or whatever like that. And I was talking to a coworker. He's a tiny dude. So we were talking. He was like, "Yo, man, maybe you should become an ICE agent, man." He said, it's a $50,000 sign-on bonus, man. You a big dude, they'll take you. And then I was like, hell no, man. And then brothers found out if I was like, damn, my brother's gonna call me a sellout. I was like, hell no, fuck that money. Like, I'd rather struggle, man. I ain't pressing on fucking people.
maybe
Oh,
you should
man.
maybe you should become an ice agent. You know, that's Satan right
Is that a
there.
coworker?
Yeah, my coworker.
But when you look at a lot of ice agents, there's a lot of Jake. A
Yeah,
lot of the
right.
people I see that's doing the roundups is Southern and Northern Kingdom, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That shit, hey, man, you took hold of his side, man, but you're gonna go down right with him, as the scripture says. And all they that join together should be thrust through.
Yeah, that could be the ones from Maccabees, yo. So that fell in line with the talk about like customers. Even though Northern Tribes
But
was
you
there,
think
but,
about
like,
what they're enticing. He said $50,000. You're gonna get all your student loans paid off.
Yup.
That's right now $50,000, and then you're gonna get all your debt paid off because most Jake got, well, actually most Jake don't got student loans, but
They got debt.
yeah, they got debt. So that $50,000 gonna go a long way for you. Will go a long way for a person, man. All you gotta do is just round up something. We gonna round up some niggas.
That's not personal, bro.
There's a lot of them niggas. Yeah, there might be, niggas that, because you said the people that become cops are the ones
Yeah,
that
I'm about to
used to
say
get bullied
army,
and
our
shit.
military, yup.
Yeah, so like they want to go and flex their stroke their ego, man.
And you know, the Southern tribes got their little disdain still for the Northern tribes too, so they can get some animosity off.
But hey,
Yeah, so-
hey, bro, the scripture says you that time was going to come, man, where Jake was going to be in that trouble, and the only ones that the Lord, as it says, but he should be saved out of it was who? The elect. That's why this only about the elect, man. Those that believe and call upon Yahawah YAHAWASHI, man. So so like you want to say something?
Remember, a lot of those people, they lost their federal jobs. So what jobs did they want to go get? They went to get ice agent jobs. You know what I mean? They just, all right, well, you know what? I'm on this furlough shit, whatever, collecting whatever.
Right.
I'm just going to become an ice agent and get that $50,000 bonus.
Yep.
To get my student shit cleared up.
Yep.
And then, with this whole looming government shutdown, you're going to have, if it happens, Lord willing, it happens. People gonna be fucked up out here, them federal workers and shit like that, with a lot of those women and shit like that, men, whatever, and they're gonna become, listen, how can I be an ICE agent? How can I, apply, whatever, you know what I mean? Because, I ain't got no job right now. You know what I mean? People, how they say, desperate times call for desperate measures?
Yep.
A lot of people gonna be desperate out here, so they just gonna take anything. Even if it's oppressing my own people, I don't give a shit. I'm trying to get paid. I got my kids and my
I don't know
bills.
them.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly how they sound.
That's exactly what they gonna say. I don't know them.
I got to feed my family. The nigga should have been through proper channels.
Hey man, but we're gonna close it out with that. Lord willing, this is edifying unto the elect. Yeah, stay in spirit, stay prayed up. As we see, there's fewer days, pray for fewer days. Because at any moment this thing's gonna pop off, man. There's not many regular days left, man. So so with that, giving all praises to
Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rakakadash.
Till next time, shalom to the elect.
Shalom, repent.